Andale! Let's get it popping. All right, my high vibration, let it keep it on. Today is day 93. Day 93 of our 360-day journey. We're going all the way to the top, leaving no stone unturned. Today we get to reveal, expand, illuminate, and simplify this thing that removes uncertainty, the thing that establishes direction, the single standing column of thought. That's what you are. You've thought that thought so long that it's solidified and it created a form. You are a thought form being that has taken shape and solidified into this 3D reality. So when you're a empathetic person, you literally reduce or remove uncertainty with your empathy. And when you are a confident person, you literally provide direction or a specific point of focus, which allows you to establish discipline and order. This, my anointed brother, this, my beautiful educated sister, is how you scale through comprehension, interpretation, and discernment. So when you scale, you can't fail. So the only way to fail is if you do not scale. So today we want to make sure that we over and understand that there is no such thing as failure. Because this is the only way to fail is if you do not scale. So now we're going to look at, the scaling part that we've been talking about. But the only way, because remember, there's a lot of different ways to fail, honestly. But for us, the only way to fail is if we do not scale. So now for everybody else got multiple options. But for you and I, because we're high vibrational like key lines up on this level, the only way to fail is if you do not scale. So we want to make sure that, we don't fall into the do not scale category. Because the do not scale category is the absence of scalar category, the inability to scale. So the inability to scale means that you've got down into duality. This duality, again, this messes up your singularity. So duality destroys singularity because you got too many minds, and a double-minded man, according to the script, we already know. According to the script, a double-minded man will not receive no thing. So the reason that there is this fuzzy math that you got, if you're in Groundhog's Day right now, you're in Groundhog's Day because fuzzy math. So the only way to fail is if you do not scale. Scalar. Now, it's very interesting as we talk about this topic and, all of these topics that we be talking about. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to, how you play. So yesterday we talked about, the ability for us to have this unconditional reasonability. So that simply means that for some reason or another, you just are unconditionally reasonable. And the reason that you are is things don't bother you like they used to. Like before, Tom, Dick, Harry, and everybody would get underneath your skin and they would prevent you and you couldn't win. Somebody would say something to you, you like, man, meet me in the parking lot, brother. We can settle this like men. Now, it's like water off a duck's back. The things that used to get you all amped up, get you all excited, now it's like, well, you know what, brother, praise him. I got bigger fish to fry. So it doesn't, get under your skin. So it doesn't prevent you from moving forward and being able to win. So now, for everybody else, it affects them. Now, remember, brothers and sisters, we talk about scale now. So the only way to fail is if you do not scale. That's it. So that's now you got to think about that though, because everybody, a lot of people are not. You don't have inside of your circle the things that you would like to be inside of your circle. So the only way that happens is if you fail into scale. So the only way to scale is if you do not scale. you. Now, you blaming the white man, the black man, the economy, your mama, your daddy, the reverend, the doctor, the bishop. You supposed to reduce uncertainty, provide direction. That equals currency. So today we want to make sure that you over and understand how to engage in that apparatus, that ability to be able to reduce uncertainty and to provide direction, which is what we call currency. So currency is what you currently see. So when you look at me, what do you see? I look at you, what do I see when I look at you? That's currency. That's all it is. It's not rocket science, man. It's actually, it's really pretty easy, but because it's easy, it's actually hard. And it's hard because, when we talk about scalar energy, because we look at it from physics. Most people, they talk about scalar, they're talking about physics. So they don't look at it from a masculinity and a femininity removal process. We don't look at removing electricity and magnetism, because that's the only thing that we've been taught. All of us, we all grew up, under understanding electricity and magnetism. So to remove or to allow those two frequencies to cancel each other out, and to what's left? If you take away all your fear, you take away all your faith. If you take away up and you take away down. If you take away happy, you take away sad. If you take away this polarity, you have singularity. So you just have source left. That's the conundrum. The conundrum is that what we're talking about literally going into a place where what we call no man's land. Because most people have to have something to argue about or fight about. So this space that scalar energy occupies, it's a place that allows electricity and magnetism to be exuded. So that means that you are now the cause of the particle wave-like properties, if you want to use that term, getting back into physics, which is nothing but intensity and frequency. That's it. So we could talk physics and get, very intellectual, and nobody will be able to understand or get anything from today's message. So let's just let's just talk plainly. How do you pay your light bill? How do you become a better father? How do you become a better husband or a better wife? How do you become a, productive citizen? How are you able to overcome any obstacle, no matter what the problem is? How do you just focus on the solution? You acknowledge the problem, say, I see you problem, but I'm going to take my energy out of just looking at the problem. I'm just going to look at who would I be without that problem. And I only take advice from people who don't have that problem. So I don't take advice, nor do I follow, nor do I listen to people who have the problem that I'm trying to get rid of. So if you're not standing on the other side of the street, and you're on the same side of the street that I'm on, but you've given me advice on how to get across the street, that dog's gonna hunt. So unfortunately, we've got people who take advice from people who are not where they want to be. So scalar energy is singularity and it's oneness with source. So it's not difficult, but because it's rare to find someone who exudes the 5 attributes and characteristics, primarily they're not scared, because they scale. So to scale, for today's message, remember yesterday we talked about, the day before yesterday we talked about, understanding. Understanding is the ability to comprehend. Understanding is the ability to interpret. And understanding is the ability to have discernment. That takes you to being very, very unconditionally reasonable. That means that your reasons is unconditional. That means that you are stable, and it's not based upon circumstances or conditions. That means that you're mentally stable, solid, single, regardless of how much money you got in your pocket, regardless of if the doctor said you got 30 days to live, or if the doctor said you're going to live to be 120. So that means that my mental stability is not based upon external demonstration, but it's based upon internal revelation. So internal revelation overrides external demonstration. That's Scalar. That's why it's so rare. Everybody responds. Everybody is manipulated by the tutelary frequency wave of vibration. So your job is to be the least manipulated. Because in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. It's better to have one eye than no eye. So if thine eye be single, so what is that? Number one, true power is the result of removing the fear of failure. If you fail, you dust yourself off and you get back up, you get back in the fight. Number one, don't be scarred. Number two, don't operate in the scarcity mindset. Operate in the abundant mindset. Number two, you got to have an abundant mindset. The glass is always half full. The glass is never half empty. Number three, in order for you to establish current C, that's money. So how do you establish current C? How do you establish current C? You know, these things right here. How do you establish these? Currency. We call it money, but it's not money. It's what you currently see. So I don't like to currently see bills. So I don't put bills in front of my face every day. I put activities that produce currency. I allow my eyes, I allow my ears, my nose, my hands, my tongue to modify 12 senses engage in frequency and intensity that creates money. We call that currency. That takes me to number three, which means I am non-reactive. So most people say that, like my kids say sometimes, well, Dad, you don't have no emotions. Hello, thank you. That's a compliment. Most people don't see that as a compliment, Sister Shirley of the West. But for me, the greatest compliment you can give me is one that says, well, he's kind of stoic. He doesn't rattle. He's cool, calm, collective. Sign me up for that program. Because, see, that's how you win. That's number three. Number four, get comfortable being uncomfortable. So I'm comfortable. When everybody else is uncomfortable, I'm comfortable. So I'm comfortable when I'm comfortable, and I'm comfortable when I'm uncomfortable. When I win, I win. When I lose, I win. Either way you bless me, Lord, I'll be satisfied. So I am very happy being what other people call unhappy. That's some deep business right there. That takes you to number five. Don't deviate from your intentions. So no Tom, Dick, or Harry can come and say, hey, Doc, I know that you said you was going to the left, but I think you should go to the right. So I will take advice from anybody, but I'm only going to implement advice from somebody. I think advice, I'll listen. Hey, it's not what? I'll listen to him. Man, I'll listen to a talking monkey. That doesn't mean I'm going to implement unless that talking monkey is on the other side of the street. Meaning, if you are at where I'm trying to go, bruh, I'm all ears. If not, you can keep it moving. I'm going to listen to you, but I'm not going to implement what you say. Which takes us to today. So today's message is a dangerous message. How come? Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you ask, when you're an empathetic person, you automatically reduce uncertainty. When you're a confident person, you automatically increase direction. Somebody should write that down. It'll change your life forever. When you are on the electrical magnetic path to the I Chi, when you are on the EM. Because remember, everything starts with the EM. EM, look at the word empathy. You see the letters E, you see the letters M, electricity and magnetism. That puts you on the PATH, path. That takes you to, remember we're spelling the word empathetic. So that EM puts you on the path to be a tick. That EM puts you on the path to be an electrical magnetic tick. Vacuum. So that when you activate the I, look at the letter, look at the word EMPATETICE. The I, third eye, so that way you can establish the C, which is your chi. So when you are a very empathetic person, you reduce your own and everybody else's uncertainty. Around you, I feel I'm in the Zen mode because you know, you're very empathetic. But we've got to find what that means. Secondly, number two, if you act like, now preferably it's legit. Sometimes you just got to fake the funk. That's called faith. Faith is the ability to act as if. So remember, empathy reduces uncertainty. Confidence provides direction. Everybody on this planet will give you their money if you can make them feel certain and make them feel secure, safe, stable. That's direction. If you do that, you get paid. If you don't do that, you got to get the job. So now let's break down, shall we, for all my kingdom millionaires, how do we do that? How do we establish the electrical magnetic path that's called empathy? And more importantly, how do we establish dunamis power? We call it confidence. Now, you guys know my 7 C's that I talk about on almost every other show that I have here on my wall. It starts with love, charity. That creates what is called clarity, crystal clear clarity. That creates consciousness. Consciousness makes you very competent. That competent, that makes you very certain. Certain makes you very confident. So the confident kicks in after charity and certainty and competence. All of a sudden, confidence simply means you sure. You don't wish, you don't hope, you don't ponder, you don't pray, you don't call your mama or your daddy, you don't tarot card reading, you don't consult the stars, you don't call no curandero, you don't go out to read no ancient text. You just got a gut feeling. That's ESP that we talked about 2 days ago. You got your extrasensory perception that comes from your tulpa, which you broke down yesterday, tulpamancy, because you got 2 things that nobody else got. You are way more intense, and you have way more singularity. That's scalar energy. Singularity simply means that how frequent do you see? If I hold a cup in my hand, and I see this cup in the morning when I put coffee in it, or some distilled water with some warm distilled water with some key limes in it, but I only drink out of this cup in the morning, so I only see it in the morning. But if I use this cup in the morning, and I use this cup to put my distilled water in, or whatever I'm drinking, and I have it sitting on my desk every day, and I'm sipping on this cup, I see it. And then for lunch, I see it. Then for dinner, I see it. Then at night, when I go to bed, I take it, I sit it on the stool or on the, what do they call that thing right next to your bed, whatever it's called, on the stand right next to my bed. I glance over there, bam, I see the cup. So how frequently do I see this cup? So whatever you frequently see, that maintains and that you put into intensity, bam, that's scalar energy. Because that removes what? Duality. What is duality? Duality is options. What is options? We all got options. You can tune into this show, you can hang out. You can go work out, you can take a nap. You can go to work or you can live off the system. You got options. But singularity, you don't have options. In singularity, you have been given. In singularity, God knew you in your mother's womb. In singularity, you've been predestined. Predestined. In singularity, you're a one-trick pony. But that one trick is your cosmic superpower. And everybody has a name and a date of birth. Everybody. And if you understand that levels are fetters and fetters are chains, is God chained you to him, to her, to it. Now, as we all know, without this understanding, you have to wish, you have to hope, you have to guess, you have to ponder, you have to pray, you got to do all of these other techniques to find. So the difference between me and most other people is when I wake up in the morning, I know exactly what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So I don't have to wonder. I don't have to research. I know exactly. I'm born in the month of September. So I know. So I have an advantage over everybody else. When everybody else is vacillating, bam, I got direction. People follow people who know where they're going. People follow people who have the same verbs. So instead of vibranium, this is vibranium. So if we have the same verbs, it activates the same nerves. So my 12 cranial nerves are activated by the verbs that's given to me by source. In the beginning was the word, verbs. The word was with God, verbs. And the word was God, verbs. And the word, verbs, became flesh, verbs, and started to walk around, verbs. That's John 1:1 and John 1:14. But if you do not understand that you are an individual expression of source code on the earth, what's going on, Queen? Sing? I didn't see you sneak up in here. What's going on? And if you do not understand that you are an individual expression of source code on earth, you are a single standing column of waves. That means you got options. When you select singularity, you drop down from a wave state to a specific particle state. That's all I did. That's all I teach. When you drop down into a specific particle state, in the morning, you do not have double-mindedness. You got singularity. Why? You are one specific particle. So my particles are selected by source. I did not choose the date that I entered into this dimension. It is not to my gnosis or my knowledge. So since I'm in Septum 7, but we know because Augustus or Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar, they imprinted themselves into our Greco-Roman time clock called Saturnalia. So fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you talk to, some people are born in the month of July, and some people are born in the month of Augustus. So that establishes your cosmic frequency, as we've been talking about for 20 years. So what does that do? Well, number one, it gets rid of fear. Number two, it gives me an abundant mindset, because I got an abundance. For me, I got an abundance of discernment, because I'm born in September. Number three, it makes me non-reactive. So you can't thirst trap me, homie. You can't love bomb me. You can't do none of the psychological techniques. They don't work on me. Because of number four, I'm very comfortable in my skin. I'm very, very comfortable. That's how I can win. Which creates number five, I do not deviate from my plan. So my plan is the same every day, which is what? To replace error with truth. That's called awareness. So everybody else that don't have scalar, destiny, diaconal, singleness of mind, they can't shine because they got double-mindedness. They still trying to figure out who they are. They don't know. They believe. they wish, they ponder, they hope, but they don't have crystal clear clarity, right, Queen? They don't really know. So they still got to pray. So you got to pray if you don't. Now, why would I pray for something I already got? God said He's given me everything that I need for life and godliness. So I could say thank you. If we're going to do that, okay, that's not prayer, that's praise. So the most people confuse prayer with praise. That, my brothers and sisters, is why we live in a society where we have serious lack of empathy because we have competition. What's up, Brother Daniel David? See, I don't compete. I'm here to complete. How come I don't compete? Well, I don't have no competition in my lane. Right, Queen Thing? There's only one Queen Thing. There's nobody else. She ain't got no competition. She's the only one in her space. Unless what we talked about yesterday. What if you don't know yourself? What does that mean? What if you bump your head and you drink the purple Kool-Aid, right? And you forget that you are begotten, not forgotten. So that means that you got to compete with everybody else. You don't know that you're programmed for success. And so whenever you don't be yourself, you have to be someone else. That's competition. So I don't have no competition. So the only competition is my awareness. So my job is one, comprehension of myself. Number two, interpretation of myself. And number three, to be able to establish discernment of myself. That gives me and makes me very empathetic. So when you become empathetic, what does that mean? Now, when you have empathy, not sympathy, empathy, when you become very, very empathetic, it's not a feeling. We've got to get away from feelings. You see, an empathetic person reduces uncertainty. That's it. A empathetic, when you show me empathy, what you do is you reduce my uncertainty. If I'm unsure about something, when you come around, you build rapport. You are able to reduce my feelings about your trustworthiness. And because I can trust you, I'm willing to buy from you. So when I started, and what I teach in sales, don't try to sell. Instead, seek to serve. Most people are so busy trying to sell somebody that they forget to service. So it's not about sales, it's about service. Your ability to serve. When you establish and you come into this and you get online, your whole purpose of being online, the whole purpose for doing anything in life is for what? Service. To serve means I want to add value. I want to add value. To add value simply means that I want to literally increase your sense of self-worth. Now, I'm not talking about, compliments are great. Charming, being very charming, being very surface level. But what I'm talking about is a energetic expression. It's not a feeling that's surface level. It's literally DNA activation. So empathy is the ability for you to activate somebody else's DNA. It's the ability for you to tap into somebody else's mind and activate their shine. Now, the only way, I shouldn't say the only way, but the way that I do it is I understand your numbers. So I know, because remember, I do this for a living. So I have an unfair advantage. I got my own system that, again, I got $100,000 if you get this system and it doesn't work. So most people come to sell, they don't come to serve because they think they got to make a sale. Because remember, most people think money is paper. Most people don't know that money is a mental disposition. It's not a piece of paper. And so how do I increase your mental disposition? If I'm talking to somebody and I really want to sit down and tap into that person's frequency, that person's wave, that person's vibration, it's like the new client, Sister Telematis, Sister Diane. So when I first met Sister Diane, right, Sister Diane, the first thing that we did was we sat down and we looked at her numbers. The thing that stood out about Sister Diane that I told her that I was shocked, and it really explained, it helped me do what? It helped me establish a connection with Sister Diane. It helped me because I have empathy. I don't feel sorry for Sister Diane. I have the ability to connect with Sister Diane. So the connection that we have is based upon similar frequencies, waves, and vibrations, verbs. So the verbs that I use are the same verbs that Sister Diane used. The same thing happened when I first met Sister Cheryl of the West. Right, Sister Cheryl? When I first met Sister Cheryl, one of the things that I do with every client is, I do the life optimization circle. And by doing that, that does what? It's the same thing when I first met Sister Singh. Remember, Sister Singh, when I first met you, first thing that we did was the life optimization circle. So going back to Sister Cheryl of the West, Sister Cheryl is a 2-3-5. So I got a bunch of 2s in my circle. I got a bunch of 3s in my circle, and I got a 5. Sister Cheryl has an 8-0-8. So I have zeros. I have 1 0, but I don't have no 8s. So when me and Sister Cheryl have a disagreement, it's around the number 8. Because Sister Cheryl West is an executive. She's more of a business person than me. I'm more of a service guy. Because I have I have a 6. I don't have an 8. So Sister West has a specific desire to get shit done. Like, let's go, Doc, let's go. Let's get it done, let's get it done, let's get it done. Me, I'm more of a nurturer. So I'm more interested in, so because of that blue, instead of more of the purple that comes from the number 8. So that purple that Sister Cheryl West has is for royalty to execute, to make decisions that bring about results. Me, I'm more interested in nurturing somebody. And so that freedom takes more time. Whereas Sister Cheryl West has more of a time clock. She's divined by God to get things done more rapidly. So that's empathy. Empathy is to have what we talked about yesterday, this unconditional yet reasonable, energetic, cosmic connection with everybody on this call, especially members of the life management system. Why? Because people don't remember what you say. People remember how you make them feel. My job is to connect. That's empathy. Empathy is the ability to connect, because what it does, we are connected spiritually. Everybody. We all come from the same source. But source puts certain attributes and characteristics together. My job and your job is to know set that soon. That's my job. My job is to know me. Your job is to know you. So the only thing that Sister Cheryl West should be doing is studying Sister Cheryl West. Why? That's Sister Cheryl will always be with Sister Cheryl. I'm going to always be in my skin. So in order for me to win, I got to go within. So to the degree that I know myself, that's the degree, again, that I'm able to amplify myself. So if I don't know myself, I become weaponized against myself. Bam. That's what happens, especially with a lot of our people, melanated people. We know the caste of the housewives of Atlanta loving hip-hop better than we know ourselves. So your job is to do what? Know yourself. So empathy, number one, the most important thing in today's message, when we're talking about establishing scalar energy with all the stuff, this is like what, day 7 of this part of the Kingdom Millionaire training that we've been doing. Remember, we got 360 parts. This is day 93. We've been going for 93 days, day 93. And today what we are expressing, exposing, and expanding to you is the most important thing. 2 things. Empathy. Because people are very cutthroat. Most people are interested in making a sale. Most are not interested in making a connection. So your ability to connect with people, that builds trust. See, I will buy from people that I trust more than I will buy from people who have them sell. So if your product, your service information is a little bit more expensive, but I know you. If Sister Singh is selling a bar of soap and they got a bar of soap at Walmart, I'm going to buy my bar of soap from Sister Singh. But I know Sister Singh and I trust Sister Singh. I have a connection with Sister Singh. There's a vibrational energy that bonds us that's not based in this 3D reality. It's based in spirituality. So this singleness of mine, because I got a gut feeling that makes me feel comfortable. It removes, empathy removes uncertainty. The only way for you, especially now with artificial intelligence and everything that's going on in the world today, you got to build your tribe. You got to build you better start, man. If you don't have a tribe, if you don't got a group, not your family, remember, they say blood is thicker than water. Vibration is thicker than blood. If you don't have a vibrational family, where are we going? You in trouble. You better start building your tribe. Otherwise, you will not be able to survive. The people that will be able to survive, those people have a tribe. They got people that have their back. I know if my back is up against the wall, there's people on this call that I could call. And I know if they got it, I got it. Because why? We vibrational brothers and sisters. This, my brothers and sisters, is greater than anything on the planet. Trust. Building trust, spiritual trust. Now, if you got a physical connection with somebody, that's great. But we're not talking about the physical. We're not talking about, muscles and chi-chis and badonki donks. If I look at you and I see you like, damn, that man, she look good. Okay, that's awesome. We're not talking about that today. We're talking about 9 chi. So I have verbs. These are my verbs. They control my nerves. If you notice, for example, what's up, Sister Diane? I see you sneaking in here. So Sister Cheryl West has different verbs than me. But we have enough verbs in common. The only verbs that we have different is the 8. So I don't have no 8. But Sister Cheryl West does. She got 2 8s. But that means I need to connect with Sister Cheryl in the area of business. So that means that for me, if somebody's sleeping on the job, they're not doing their job, you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to coddle them. I'm going to try to, talk in circles. I'm going to try to bond with them and try to figure out, hey, what's going on in your personal life? So the Cheryl West is going to be like, bruh, pack your shit and get out. You fired. Why? Well, she's an 8. So the West doesn't play. If anybody knows the Cheryl, y'all know the Cheryl don't play. Well, you need those people. I need those people in my life. I need people who have the ability to say, not only no, bump no. Get your shit and get out. Why? You need people who can execute. Now, sometimes you could be more, loving and coddling and all of that BS. But there are some people, they look for people like you so they can do what? They can con you. So for people like me, now this is why you got to know yourself. Because number one, empathy establishes certainty. Empathy removes uncertainty. It establishes a vibrational connection with other people in your tribe. So my verbs establish my tribe. So I have words that I use. I use specific. Remember, you have to re-engineer your vocabulary around your mentality, around your design. So the words I speak, I just don't make them up. This is where I get them from. This is my Bible, my own personal Bible. It's my Dear Canoe report. You make sure you got one too. So now, let's say we talk about Sister Diane Coleman. Well, Sister Diane Coleman, like Sister Cheryl West, she got a couple of, eights in her name too. But Sister Diane is like me. So this is, Sister Diane has a 336. Then she has what? 718. And then 347. And then 101. So we have a lot in common. But I don't have no sevens, I don't have no eights. So that means that when it comes to making more of an intellectual execution, bam. So if I got a business, I need to hire Sister Diane. If I got a business, I need to hire Sister Cheryl West. I need to hire Sister C. I need to bring on board people who have an electrical magnetic override. So that means they don't have feelings. They have execution. Feelings are great, but unfortunately, we live in a world where feelings will get you killed spiritually. So feelings go up and down. That's what they call sine waves. So some days I feel good, some days I feel bad. But guess what? Every day I feel Master Teacher 33. That is a single standing column of waves that has solidified as one specific particle. It never changes. I'll change. My feelings. So the word sin, this is what the Bible gets it, and well, people get it wrong. People think sin has to do with morality. Sin has to do with stability. It has to do with Scalar. It has to do with your DNA. It has to do with that energy that's embedded inside of you. That never changed. The Bible says God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. God is gut. So inside of your gut, you have a feeling. So my feelings are different from your feelings. But the problem is I can't make decisions with my feelings. I got to make decisions with my gut. What does that mean? Right is right, wrong is wrong. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Meaning what? It means that there's two sides, but there's always in the middle, there's one bird. You can't be left wing, you can't be right wing. You got to be singularity. So that means that you're coming into singleness of mind. That's empathy. Empathy means you have a way of seeing the world that is designed by source. You could change it. I don't recommend it. So that means for me, my life path number is a 6. So out of all of the attributes and characteristics of the number 6, I could set out and decide to change it, right? I could say, you know what? So the thing, I don't want to be a 6 anymore. I want to be like, Sister Cheryl West. I want to be an 8. And I could set out to override my automatic expression. I have to put another frequency on top of it. That requires effort. So what most people do that work hard, remember, I don't work hard. So there is a natural expression that comes out. So this is the attributes and characteristics of a 6. So I'm naturally compassionate. Harmony, love, beauty, quality, detail, responsibility, nurturing, visionary, guardian, parent, perfectionism, all day, in my sleep. It takes no effort. I can do that shit all mother beat day. So why the hell would I want to exude anything else? That means I got to work. I got to put forth a lot of energy. Man, I ain't doing that. Now, I used to when I was young, dumb, and stupid. I ain't young, dumb, and stupid no more. So, no, I'm not going to be anybody else. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to take what God gave me and I'm going to monetize it. That's empathy. Empathy is the ability to connect with people based upon your numbers. That's empathy. Because what does it do? When I'm natural and I'm not fake, I am number one and the most important thing, authentic. Is there anybody who wants to build an audience today? For real. Because you're going to need it. Everybody got to have an audience. I thank God for everybody on this call because you're my audience. You part of my tribe. And the way that what got you here was not my books. It was not my muscles. It wasn't my, my handsome face. But damn, y'all know I look good, don't I? Ooh-wee. Okay, y'all, I'm just playing. But it's not my beautiful looks. It's not my handsomeness. We connected on this call because I'm of my SME. I'm a subject matter expert. I will smoke any Negro in the area of my purpose. What's my purpose? I'm born in September. What is September? That means I know shit without even studying. I just know it. How do I know? Well, it's a gift. It's called discernment. I got it. You got it. If you're born in January, you got the ability to move forward in the face of adversity. We call that love. February, you're very spiritual. But spiritual is not what you've been taught. Spiritual simply means that you have the ability to solidify thought. Spiritual. Spiritual means I got 1,000 thoughts coming to my head. I'm going to choose one. That's it. You're spiritual. Spiritual means to collapse one thought out of 100 thoughts. That's spiritual. If you march, that's courage. Courage is the ability to move forward in the face of extreme adversity. And if you're April, you're energizer bunny. That means that you're an amplifier. Wherever you go, people get excited around you. They don't even know why. They see you and they're like, hey, girl, what's going on? They like hanging out. Every time there's a party, they want you there. How come? You are the life of the party. You just kind of get the party popping. You don't even know why. You don't even know why. You just show up and the shit starts popping off. Why? God designed you that way. It's like Shaquille O'Neal is 7 feet tall. Why is he 7 feet tall? God designed him to be that way. What's up, Sister Rez? And then let's say you are a May. May is balance. You're here, but notice May and notice October. Different type of balance, right? So your job is just to know yourself. We can go through all the months, but we've done this many times before. And each one of these months, they got a specific color. We call that color. This is color alchemy. You're supposed to be living your life based upon your numbers, based upon your alchemical process that was established for you by source. But what do? Man, we just make shit up as we go. So we don't align our mind with our God-given design. So these are the paths. That's empathy. Empathy is the ability for you to get in your path. Bam. So if you look at the number 6, you see the path I'm on. It says responsible one, the server. That's why I talk about server all the time. So if I want to be broke, stop serving. When I was broke, it's because I was trying to do what Sister Cheryl West does. So the Cheryl West, like a material manifester, that's life path 8, even though she's a 5, but we're talking about the 8. So what does that mean? Everybody has a path. When you are on your path, I feel certain around you. I feel like I can trust you. So the reason why people don't like you, because you're not you. That's why I don't like you. I can't trust somebody who's fake. So people who are fake, they don't even know why people don't like to be around them. They trying to do this like, oh man, I need to make more money. Oh, I need to go get a breast implant. I need to go get a badonkey-donk implant. We doing all of this physical stuff. We don't even know that it's not physical. It's mental. So if you're 1, you're a leader. If you're 2, you're an inward creator. If you're 3, you're an informed speaker. If you're 4, you are a stabilizer or what they call a problem solver. If you're 5, you got unended talent. That means you can go all day, every day. That's dangerous though because you got so many talents. If you're 5, you're a free spirit. You like to win. If you're 6, you are very responsible. You're a server. You want everybody to win. If you're 7, you are the source of all knowledge. You're an expert thinker and analyzer. If you're an 8, you are a material manifester. Money flows to you easily and effortlessly. If you're 9, you are a worldwide humanitarian. You are very sophisticated if you're 9. Then we got the past, master numbers. If you're an 11, you are a in-the-moment intuitive. That means you know shiznits without studying. If you're a life path 22, you are the humanitarian material master. That means you're a master builder. If you're 33 like me, that means that you are a spiritual teacher. I'm wondering why I'm teaching. Why? Why would I teach? Then that makes people feel safe around me. People feel secure when I teach. That's a gift. I cannot take credit for it. It's a gift from God. When you are in your path, you literally exude number 2, confidence. So my confidence comes from me aligning my mind with my God-given design. That's empathy. Empathy simply means that I don't want to be nobody else. I'm going to be myself. When you do that, number 2 is activated. What is number 2? Number 2 means confidence. But what is confidence? Confidence like this has an effect on people. So it means direction. Confidence is, and man, this is a powerful thing right here. If you're really serious, be yourself, people going to feel, man, I don't know why. It's like, I like J Money. Why? Man, I feel comfortable around J Money. If J Money is authentic in himself, he makes everybody else feel comfortable. Then when people get comfortable, his confidence provides direction. Confidence is literally, hey, y'all, I'm going over here to, Walmart to, grab a bite to eat. Y'all want to go? So let me make sure you understand confidence. Confidence is about not only establishing what we call trustworthiness and rapport, it's actually building and providing direction and giving a call to action. Confidence is not only certainty and direction. Confidence is a call to action. It is providing a specific action step. That's confidence. One of the things that I learned that has been life-changing is what I just said. It's not enough for you to know where you're going. It's important that you provide a step-by-step system of how you're going. There's one thing to say and make me say, hey, I'm going to Walmart. And I'm like, cool. But how you going? Are you going to fly? You going to take a bus? Are you driving a bike? You got a car? Is it a luxury car? Are we driving in a Ford Pinto? Are we riding in style? If you can do these 2 things, your whole life will change. If you can make people feel certain by you being certain. You see, I ain't buying you. I don't care what you're selling. People don't buy what you sell. They buy your frequency, your energy. So if you don't love you, bruh, don't get mad at me if I don't love you. But let's say you love you. That makes it easy for me to love you. Number 1, you got to build your tribe by building yourself. What does that mean? No set that soon. What does that mean? Know thyself. So I don't care if you know anybody else. To the degree that you know yourself, that's the degree that you know everybody else. So that's number 1. The most important thing in life is empathy. Empathy is the ability for you to connect with anybody. If you can't connect with me, you can't connect with yourself. So I know me, that's why I can know you. Number 1, that makes me feel safe. I feel like, damn, you know what? I can relax around this dude because he's cool. He's calm. He's collected. I know I'm not going to put myself in an environment that I'm uncomfortable. So I'm not going to put you in an environment where you're uncomfortable. Because I'm going to do to you exactly what I want you to do to me. That's the golden rule. So if you got that, now remember, this is how you become a millionaire. This is how you make real money. If you want to make real money, I'm not about playment. I'm talking about real money. If you want to make $5, $6, $7, $800,000 a year, man, you got to be trustworthy. And you got to be a man and a woman of your word. But you got to keep that shit with yourself. If you say you're going to get up tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock and work out, you better keep your word to yourself. If you don't keep your word to yourself, you don't keep your word to me or anybody else. So, no, I ain't buying your product, bro. Why? I can't trust you. How come I can't trust you? You don't trust you. If you don't love you, how you going to love me? Let's keep it real. So, number one, the most important thing, you got to be authentic, especially now. When you become authentic, bam, all my fear of losing is gone. Even if your product is in the development stage and it ain't 100% accurate, I know you will. I know you're a real dude. I know you're going to keep your word. So even if I buy it and it don't work, I know you're going to give me my money back or you're going to make it right. Why? Because you treat yourself right. That means you're going to treat me right. That's empathy. Then, if you know where you're going, and not only do you know where you're going, you know when you're going, and you've been there before. So you know the shortcut. You know that if you take this freeway, there's a bunch of traffic, so you know a side road. Because you've been to Walmart before, and instead of taking, now here in San Antonio, there's this freeway, 1604. It's great, as long as you're not going on that freeway around morning traffic time at 8 or the afternoon at 5. If you get on 1604 between 7:30 and about 8:30 or 9, bruh, you're going to be stuck in traffic. If you get on 1604 from like 4 o'clock until around 5:30 or 6 o'clock, you're going to be stuck in traffic. I know that, bruh. I've written on that freeway a bunch of times. So if you're talking to somebody who read a book and they watched a video about driving in San Antonio, and they come to San Antonio, they never drove 604. They don't know that right now. I went there this morning, and they're doing a bunch of construction on 604. Normally, it's a good route, but now you don't want to be on 1604 because of the construction. I know that. I ain't reading in no book. So not only can I tell you where I'm going, I can tell you with certainty and confidence a better route, faster, better to get there. What does that do? Man, I'll follow you. Direction. Confidence means I have the best route to take. Here it is. Confidence. So now I have certainty and I have confidence. So guess what? I'm going to give you my currency. If you're serious about 2023 and 2024, number one, you should be this is some good stuff. This is day 93. Let me check my days. You already missed 90 plus stuff. Like, it's getting better. All these classes, 360 hours. For anybody that's listening live, right now, because it goes up every month, right now it's at $4,000. If you still want to get in, you can get in for one payment of $1,000 or two payments of $500. If you're listening live and you want to join and get all 360 hours, you got a lot of catching up to do. Because this is day 93. If you want to if you're really serious, because we're spending 360 days talking about one topic. The topic that nobody wants to talk about, money. The topic I love to talk about. I'm leaving no stone unturned. We're going to beat this horse until it starts to ride. We're going to all ride off into the sunset with what? Money. Because money ain't paper. Money is currency. Money is what you currently see. If I got this cup, I currently see this cup. So whatever value, whatever it contains, that's the amount of money that I maintain. Your ability to maintain what you currently see based upon who you designed by God to be. And you can be anything you want. You can be, the world is your oyster, homie. You can be anything you want, but you got to do it. I did that 68 times, 23 businesses. I worked like a Hebrew slave. I made good money too, but I went home and I slept like a newborn baby because I was tired. Now, every day's vacation. Every day's a holiday because I don't have to work. Just like Shaq doesn't have to work to be 7 feet. If he want to do anything else outside of being 7 feet tall, or however tall he is, he got to do it. What does he have to do to maintain his height? Nothing. That's a gift. So money means birthright. Money is your birthright. It's abundance. You ain't got to do nothing to get it. You are it. So if you're doing anything right now to work, to generate money, you might want to join this class. Why? You brought the narrative that was given to you by the dominant culture that says if you don't work, erdogan, you don't eat. That's true. If you're trying to create something that's not inside of your circle, you got to do it. Everything inside of your circle, you have it. To him that has inside, more shall be given. So I look at, okay, well, what do I got? What do I got? Oh, okay. Well, I look at my attributes and my characteristics. If I'm talking to, so if I'm talking to Sister Diane Coleman, I say, Sister Diane Coleman, what do you got, girl? What do you got? So Diane said, well, Doc, I got 336. I got 718. Why? How do I know that? The numbers. I got past tense, so she don't have to work for this. She already got it. It's in her DNA. She's programmed for 347 101. So 336 718 437 101. That's the program. Automatic. She ain't got to do nothing. Just wake up and breathe and bam. That energy is expressed in this dimension. So, but anything outside of that, you got to maintain. So, brothers and sisters, man, y'all already know. I had an awesome day. Drove around in my vet just got on the freeway, man. Had to do a couple of errands and stuff. So I was like, man, I'm out anyway. Shoot, I'm gonna take it out and see what she gonna do. You feel me? And so yeah, I had a great day today. Having a great day today. Right, Brother Osama? Posted on my group because I'm the cause. So are you. Now this should sound, what I'm about to say should sound a little cocky. Because remember, cocky and confidence are exactly the same. What is the difference between the two? Cocky, meaning that you talking mad shit. You the man. But it is not based upon anything. It's a wish. You got to gaslight me. You got to love bomb me. You got to thirst trap me. You got to bring on some serious psychological techniques. What's up, Sister Smith? When you cocky, that cockiness, you really got to work at it. You really, really got to calm me, charm, to convince me that, okay, this person know where they're going, they know how to get there, and they make me feel certain. I can trust them. That cocky. Confidence? Confidence based upon fact, homie. Like, I am confident that I am what the culture calls a black man. How do I know? How do I know that? I know that. I don't have to wish. What? Congratulations. I don't have to wish. I don't have to ponder. I don't have to hope. I know. So, no, you won't see me fasting or praying that I become a black man. Sister Veronica Smith, Sister Veronica, I was born a black man. So I don't have to do nothing to stay a black man. I can't become more blacker. I cannot increase or decrease my black manness. Why? It's a gift. So let me get this right. So we're talking about dollar bills. You've been taught that you got to do something. Ooh, brother, you got to go out there and make it happen, homie. We all been taught that. Nah, bro, you got to. That's it. Money. Money is a result of a design. That's how you shine. Everybody has abundance. Abundance is your birthright. You can't do nothing to get it. You can't do nothing to lose it. This is Sister Veronica. Sister Veronica Smith. Figure out in 3 she got. Figure out in 1 she got. So Sister Veronica Smith is a 101-123-303-369. So as long as Sister Veronica Smith stays in line with her God-given design, she's guaranteed to shine. So Sister Veronica Smith is a very sophisticated, or she's a humanitarian. And this humanitarian, oops, off my phone and stuff. This humanitarian makes her a 3. What is 3? 3 means very creative. And so she's a very creative, that's another 3, creator that does what? 1, leader. So she's a global, creative creator and leader. So as long as she does that every day, money flows to her easily and effortlessly. All right, my brothers and sisters, make sure, as we said at the beginning of this show, reduce uncertainty and provide direction. That is currency. Your job is to reduce uncertainty. And the way that you reduce uncertainty is with empathy. But in empathy is nothing but authenticity. Be you. When you being you, it makes you feel comfortable. Number 1, your job is to make me feel comfortable by you making yourself feel comfortable, by you loving yourself. You love yourself, I know you can love me. Number 1, make me feel comfortable, dog. Make me feel like I can trust you. Because out here on the internet, everybody can do anything and be anything they want. I can't trust you, man. So no, man, I ain't buying you. I don't even know is your website, if you got a website up, is it legit? I don't even know. But if you are certain, right, Quincy? If you certain, man, I feel comfortable. It's like we've known each other all our life. I've never met Quincy in real life, physical. But yet, I feel like I've known her all my life. She pops in and out, catch a show here and there. She like J Money. J Money is here one day, gone the next. Now guess what? They busy grinding and shining, so that's what they supposed to do. So I ain't mad at them. J Money's supposed to be he's supposed to be getting his money. Same way I'm getting my money. So I like, man, shit, do you, boy? He got his new single out, right, J Money? Got that one single that she wanna get that what's it called, J Money? Anyway, it's all on Facebook, it's everywhere. So the thing is doing big things. Everybody's grinding and shining. So of course they're not gonna be able to just sit here and catch every show. So when I see them, shit, I'm happy to see them. I don't see them, I miss them. But when I do see them, I'm happy to see them. Why? They good people. They solid, salt of the earth, trustworthy. That's number 1. Number 2, not only you got to be trustworthy, you got to have some direction. That's called purpose. You not only got to know where you're going because you've been there before. You have to be able to create a sense of urgency, call to action. Not necessarily with a call to action statement, but with a call to action lifestyle. When I see you, I should want to be you. From the perspective of there's certain things that you can do better than me. So what does that mean? Well, I know Sister Veronica Smith has raised some very successful family, and I know her story. So that creates certainty. But I know that if my daughters have some questions about raising my grandchildren or just raising children from a woman's perspective that I could not provide because I'm a man, and if that was nobody else that I could refer you to, I would have them talk to Sister Veronica Smith. How come? Because Sister Veronica Smith knows the direction to give, and she knows the step-by-step process that creates a sense of urgency or a call to action so people could implement to get the exact same results, which is children that grow up to be protective, law-abiding citizens that's able to be self-sufficient. Why? She got 7 children that she's raised, and she's already done it 7 times. You can listen to anybody, but you should only implement stuff from somebody who's already at where you trying to go. All right, y'all. That's enough for one day. I love you. Appreciate you. Super seeing. Good seeing you again. Jay Money, you already know Jay Money. Good seeing you again, my brother. Sister Veronica Smith, Sister Diane Coleman. Appreciate you, my sister. And everybody else tuning in. My boy Osama. What's up, brother Osama? Sister Diane Telemates. What's up, Sister Diane? Who else did I miss? Oh, God is Shoulders West. See you. Sister Carolina. What's up, Sister Carolina? I think now who else we got? That's a couple of numbers. I'm not sure who that is. Sister Red stopped by. My boy, Brother Daniel David. So thanks everybody for stopping by. I love you. Appreciate you. See you guys there on tonight. God bless.